First and foremost, all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Warakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you true, sincere brethren out there, pushing out this purified truth, cleansing this wicked, defiled kingdom with this word, and to the rest of the church who believe as well, including you few women out there who believe. The water to Yahweh Shai, because without him, none of this would even be possible. So I have an article here, and it reads, Venezuela crisis. Violence erupts as Guaido calls for uprising. If that's how you pronounce the name. Alright. Thousands of Venezuelans clash in the streets with pro-government forces after the opposition leader's audacious call to oust President Maduro. Alright. So I'm going to play this video. And Lord willing, this lesson can be simple and edifying.
Violence burst today as protesters clashed with pro-government forces. The conflict followed a call from opposition leader Juan Guaido to join him and a small group of military officers in overthrowing President Nicolás Maduro's government.
Los invito inmediatamente a activarse. Los invito inmediatamente a cubrir las calles de Venezuela.
The demonstration continued into the evening, but there was no sign the protesters had succeeded in ousting Mr. Maduro.
Hay que identificar a toda esa gente que disparó y irlos a buscar y someterlos a la justicia, entregarlos a la fiscalía y a los tribunales, a todos. Están los videos de todo tipo, sabemos quiénes son, ya hay que buscarlos. No puede haber impunidad, tiene que haber justicia para que haya paz en Venezuela.
The call to arms from Mr. Guaido was the latest attempt to unseat Mr. Maduro, who is seen by the opposition as an illegitimate leader following re-election in 2018.
Pedimos al resto de la Fuerza Armada que se una a esta Operación Libertad, que ya no tiene marcha atrás. Y a la población venezolana, salgamos a la calle a defender la libertad.
Mr. Guaido is recognized as Venezuela's rightful leader by more than 50 nations, including the United States.
The opportunity for Venezuelan democracy, I am confident, will remain. But please know that you have got a team, not just at the State Department, but in the intelligence community and the military, who are very focused on protecting the Venezuelan people, restoring their dignity.
Tuesday's clashes were often violent. Pro-Maduro forces fired tear gas, rubber bullets and live ammunition, and even used an armoured vehicle to run over protesters. By the end of the day, it appeared that the attempt to overthrow Mr. Maduro had faltered. However, late Tuesday, Mr. Guaido called for continued protests.
Mañana toda Venezuela a las calles.
So as you saw in this video, you have a lot of uproars going on just because they're trying to, give me a second, just because they're trying to overthrow their president, Nicolás Maduro. All right, I'll read a small amount of this article and I'll bring out some scriptures. Okay. Now it says, Caracas, Venezuela, thousands of Venezuelans clashed in the streets with pro-government forces following an audacious call by opposition leader Juan Guaido to join him and a small group of military officers in overthrowing President Nicolás Maduro's government. The violence ensued after Mr. Guaido, flanked by a small group of rebellious National Guard troops outside a Caracas military base, called on the public to help in punishing economic and political crisis under Mr. Maduro. Mr. Guaido is viewed by the U.S. See if I can get more. That's all it's going to let me read. It's going to have me sign in to get the rest. But the point has been made. So you have a lot of uproars going on in Venezuela. Now in Venezuela, you have a lot of our people down there from the Northern Kingdom. Okay, so let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras 15 and 16. If I can get my Bible to load up. It's going kind of slow right now. Okay. 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men. And sedition is pretty much rebellion or any kind of civil disorder against the state or government. Okay? Pretty much rebellion. And that's what you're seeing in Venezuela. You're seeing sedition. All right, so I'm going to read the scripture again. In 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing uproars of the people. And they don't care about the government or anything. They're taking matters into their own hand to overthrow their current president, which is Nicolas Maduro. And they're feeling like with him being in power, him being president, their freedom is at risk. They feel like he is not doing his job. Okay? But the situation goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than that because America, Babylon, the great today, has her hand in a lot of what's going on in Venezuela. Babylon has spreaded her democracy all throughout the earth, and it doesn't do anything but cause problems. For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. And they're not regarding their president. They don't give a damn about Maduro being the president. They're trying to take him out of office, take him out of power. Okay? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And they're taking matters into their own hands. They're taking action. Okay? They're not like a lot of you Americans here right now. But guess what? This type of thing is coming to America. And it's coming to America very soon. And a lot of people being so comfortable, they may not be able to imagine it or see it happening. But it is definitely going to happen. It's coming to the streets of America. All right? Jacob's trouble is already happening in Venezuela. Okay? And other parts of the world where Israelites may be. Let's go to the book of Matthew. Man, these times is amazing, man. We in some... Ooh, things is moving. Things is moving, my boys. Matthew 24 and 32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. And what is near? The time of war. Jacob's trouble. Okay? Divisions. Race wars. Famines. Pestilence. All sorts of judgments. The RFID chip. Okay? And so on. And then after all of that, you have to look forward to the missiles. And you have to look forward to Yahweh Shai's return. So there's a lot going on and a lot to come. All right? So it tells you that when these things happen, know that it is near. Know that we are in the season. What season are we in right now? Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. So there is a season for everything. Okay? Matter of fact, let me jump back to what I just read. There is a season for everything, right? Matthew 24 and 32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So when the fig tree is tender and putteth forth leaves, what season is it? It's summer. So likewise, when you start to see these things happening throughout the earth, you know what season it is. And what season are we in? Let's go back to Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Verse 8. A time to love, and that's not the time, unless it's your fellow Israelite who's in this truth. And a time to hate. And that's the time we're in. We're in the time of hating our enemies. Now, although we hate our enemies, we hate the so-called white man, we hate the so-called Arab, we hate the so-called East Indian, we hate the so-called Chinese, we hate the so-called Japanese, and so on. But nevertheless, in our day-to-day, we keep it peaceful, we keep it casual, we can hold conversations. Okay, we're not going around picking on people or starting fights. But deep in our mind, we know at the end of the day, they are our enemies and they will serve in captivity. And 2/3 of our own people as well. They're going to be judged. They're not going to serve in captivity, but we hate them as well. All right. A time of war and a time of peace. So what season are we in? Well, you can tell the season by the things that are happening around you. And the things that are happening around you is showing you that we are in the season of war. Okay? So let's go to Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 5, and we'll hit verse 11. For the house of Israel and the house of Judah have dealt very treacherously against me, saith the Lord. Okay, so our people have offended the Lord. Our people have dealt treacherously, have been liars, deceivers, breaking the holy covenant. All right, verse 12. They have belied the Lord and said, it is not he, neither shall evil come upon us, neither shall we see sword nor famine. And that's the ignorant mind state of our people. Although you have all these things going on throughout the earth, our people are still acting as if nothing is going to happen. These signs that you're seeing throughout the earth is showing that we are in the last days. The fact that Venezuela is going through what they are going through shows that we are already in Jacob's trouble. Okay? Let's go to verse 31. Jeremiah 5:31. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so, and what will ye do in the end thereof? So you like to have peace conversations, how everything is good. But what are you going to do when you realize there is not going to be any peace? Not until the kingdom is set up. What are you going to do then? What are you going to do when you realize that your pastor's been lying to you? When you realize the things that have been happening in Greece, in France, in Venezuela, and other parts of the world are coming here to America? When are you going to realize that? Okay? That is the time we are in right now. And we're soon approaching Jacob's trouble on a way higher level. All right? The fact that you're seeing uproars of the people. The fact that you're seeing sedition among men. People invading one another. All right? You have military vehicles literally running over people. Because they are in that spirit of war. And you better believe the U.S. government is behind a lot of what's going on in Venezuela. Okay? And all this is really just end-time prophecy. So all the opposition and things that you're seeing going on in the world, it's just a sign that Yahweh Shai is coming back. And Yahweh Shai himself said that he's coming to bring division. He's not coming to unite everybody on this side. Okay, the nation of Israel, we will be united in the kingdom. But at this point in time, Yahweh Shai is coming to bring division. The proof is in Luke 12:51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? So if Yahweh Shai came to bring peace on earth, don't you think we would already be seeing peace on earth? But you don't see peace on earth, because that is not what Yahweh Shai is coming to do. Neither is that the Heavenly Father's plan, because if that was his plan, he would have been did it. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell ye nay, but rather division. And that's what you're seeing in Venezuela. You're seeing division. Okay? That's why you have those who follow after Guaido, or whatever his last name is, are going against those who follow after Maduro, who see Maduro as a good leader and how he should remain president. There's sedition. There's division. There is animosity. There is rage, to the point of people willing to kill one another, okay, for what they believe, on who they think should be in power, on who they think should be in authority. All right? That's the times we're in right now. So we have to wake up out of this sleep and realize, hey, man, according to the book of Romans, which I'll get it right now. This is Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, and how do we know what time it is? By the things that are happening around us. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. So now it is time to wake out of that spiritual sleep if you're asleep. But we know that 2/3 are going to remain asleep. So this is speaking to the elect. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. So our deliverance is close. Okay? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has set aside men to be preserved and to be safe away from harm, away from the judgments that's coming to the earth. But you have to remain faithful. You have to remain in this truth. Because as things around you are dissolving, okay, eventually you're literally going to see it dissolve. What's going on in Venezuela is one of the many things that is soon to lead to World War III. And when World War III happens, you better believe America's going down. All right? America's going to be shot down, my boys. All right? So I'll close it right there. You know, Lord willing, this lesson was simple and edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. A lot's going on in the world. I just want to touch on this topic, you know, real quick and real brief. Okay, because I'm not a newscast person. I'm just a man who, you know, does what I can and the ability that I'm able to do it. So with that, Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, and Shalom.